Welcome to I Love Vibrant Health. Today's topic is boosting the immune system. I want you to see this wonderful fruit pizza. It is so pretty. It's in the shape of a rainbow. And we do this when there's wonderful celebrations of a birthday in our home, or we're so thankful for something God has done. Can you see how beautiful that is? Happy birthday and happy Thanksgiving, whatever you're rejoicing about. This is non-dairy coconut milk, and it's just simple to refrigerate this. It's really good. And when you want to really make the celebration great, you put flowers all over, and you can thank God in a very beautiful way this way. Welcome to I Love Vibrant Health. We are glad you came today. And as we begin, we do note that we have one prayer request, and if there's more coming, I can wait for the prayer. Did you get paper to fill in, everybody? To make sure that everybody gets one. Jenny has a song, A Merry Heart, Do It Good Like a Medicine. Thank you, Jenny, thank you. And it is with a happy heart that we present this Increasing the Immune System. As we begin this program, let us go to the Lord in prayer and present your special requests. There's some more paper. If anybody wants to put their hand up, they want to write another prayer request. No hand is up, so we'll begin. This is a short tether here. It's in the pretty flowers. There you go. Okay, let's talk to the Lord. Are you ready to talk to the Lord in prayer? Our Father, thank you for all you've done for us in the past. Thank you for the miracles, how we have had health. We are asking for vibrant health and asking you to teach us how we can do better and help our children and grandchildren to do the same. We ask that the listeners on the internet will also be blessed by this program that we're doing. In my hands, I have a request for language acquisition and for the grandchildren. I thank you that there's nothing too hard for you to answer. And I also know that all of us have concerns in our families. Thank you that you hear our prayers. Help us as we study. In the name of Jesus, Amen. How can we increase our immune system? The body has a fantastic system where it is so complicated that people are still trying to figure it out. It recognizes things in the air and on the skin and inside the body that might do harm. It's been designed to not only recognize these harmful viruses, bacteria, fungus, parasites, and other things, but it has a mechanism to begin to fight and destroy harmful items. Disease is when it's not doing a good job. In the very beginning, God created the earth, and he created people without any disease. And Satan began, after he fell, he began trying to create the worst kind of diseases possible. And more recently, the pandemic, the worldwide illness from the COVID virus, is an example of people trying hard to make something that will make people even die from the disease. Disease-causing organisms like bacteria, virus, fungi, and parasites are detected by a healthy immune system. Cancer cells should be similarly detected and eliminated by a strong immune system. This is in Dr. Neil Nedley's Proof Positive. He's an internal medicine specialist. If you have a happy heart, it does something to the body. If you go to the table and you worry about your food, your stomach will worry too, and you won't get as much of a blessing. We should count our blessings. Some days we don't see the blessings because we're just focused on the trouble. Gather the roses, so we did. We brought some roses today. The lilies and the pinks. And think of all the joys in your life. The briars will wound you, and the thorns only grieve. Just gather the beautiful things. We have nothing to fear for the future except we forget what God has done. If you're in the country, even you can grow a garden that is going to really help the whole family. And I'm going to show that in the slide presentation. The body has so many challenges. Right now, this virus is one that's terrible. People have misconceptions of it, and there are cases that are mild, and there are cases that are so severe people are dying. Missionaries preparing for a trip to southern Mexico got their dose of typhoid fever vaccine. But it wasn't enough time from the vaccine till the exposure. And when my husband got typhoid fever, I almost lost him. We were there a year, and he was delirious, and it was scary to me. We were in our 20s, I think 24, and it was really scary to watch him go down so fast. I read in the medical textbook that he could bleed from the intestines from it. And so I worried about the worst possible scenario. We had some friends in the lab, and they brought medicine, antibiotics for it, and he did recover, but he was very skinny by the time he recovered. And you wouldn't know now if you saw he's generously proportioned, and he has recovered from that skinny state. But it was scary. There's a whole new set of bacteria when you go as a missionary, and we've been in 30 countries. All over the world, we've been on every continent except Antarctica, and God has helped us find some ways to survive, such as filtering our water, and certain things, always washing hands, certain things that we do to help ourselves survive, but God has given blessings. I'm sure sure the angels have protected us from many things they'll tell us about in heaven. I've seen people crippled with polio. One lady came in, she had her hair missing. And I said, looks like maybe a fungus took away that hair. I have a medicine. She said, no, it was not. It was my mother. She took a hatchet and tried to kill me when I was a little baby because I had polio. It was the mother's fault. They have free immunizations, but the mother refused to do the immunizations. I can make people really angry to talk like this, but it's the truth. I'm a doctor. I have a family practice residency, and I've passed all the boards, and I've gone and done this, and I've seen these things. I've seen tetanus, I've seen polio. We don't have to see because our parents and grandparents did the immunizations that were available, and they wiped out these things. Now they're starting to come back because people are refusing. When smallpox vaccines were developed, Ellen White had her immunization, and she urged all her staff to get their immunization. Now, if you're not familiar with Ellen White, those watching on the internet might never have heard of her. She was born in the 1800s, and when she was around 17, a young girl, she was very dedicated in studying her Bible, and God called her to be a spokesman for him. She was afraid that she might become proud, and he promised her that he would keep her from that. And when there was a tendency towards pride, she would become ill. And then she would pray more. She was a very godly woman and fit all the tests of a true prophet. My grandfather saw her, heard her speaking, took notes at the meeting. He was baptized, and so was his father. And he began working in the publishing. So we have had the health message in our family. What a privilege. For all these years since God gave it, she learned in 1860s many things that are written in the books. Counsels on Diets and Foods, Minister of Healing, Selected Messages, Book 1 and 2, Country Living, Healthful Living. There's many places that these things have been written. And if you don't have these books, they're a must. I keep reviewing them and seeing things I never saw before. As I present these health classes, I review more and I learn more. It's like when you water your garden, you get some of the water on yourself. It just happens. Your shoes get wet. He that waters gets watered himself. I get blessed. So modern vaccines are important. Proteins are recognized as antigens by our immune system, and this causes a mild immune response. Memory T cells and B cells remain ready to fight off the illness if it is encountered again. There's a lot of controversy over what they're trying to do to help us through the crisis of the pandemic. I'm not prepared to talk about how far they've come on immunizations for that. There's a lot of fear about it, but I trust that God will show us just as he has in the past. There are more ways to barricade your body against illness. Vitamin A foods, healthy breakfast, rest before midnight, no food 2 hours before sleep, 8 cups of water, delete black, green teas and caffeine from your diet. No caffeine drink because it decreases your immune system. I'll show you in a minute. Eat from your garden and delete meat, milk, and eggs because they're filled with disease and increasing in proportion to crime. There's an increase in disease.
I was just making sure.
Okay? When I look at flowers, I feel happy inside. I love these roses. Jenny found them in the store today. She said these just have to be in our class because they boost our immune system to have them, and each of us are going to have some today. If you plant flowers around your home, it's going to help you that way too. And this is from the book Adventist Home by Ellen White, page 150, paragraph 1. Nearly all dwellers in the country, however poor, could have about their homes a bit of grassy lawn, a few shade trees, flowering shrubbery, or fragrant blossoms. And far more than any artificial adorning will they minister to the happiness of the household. They will bring into the home life a softening, refining influence, strengthening the love of nature and drawing the members of the household nearer to one another and nearer to God. I showed that to my husband. I said, wouldn't that be nice? You can never get too much of that. And so he handed me a check and he says, go get a lawn then. So I got this roll-out lawn. I got some dirt brought in and we put in a lawn. If I would mow the lawn, he said I could do. And it really made everybody happy. And flowers, I have over 1,000 daffodils in place. I can go on mission trips and the daffodils are happily waiting till spring. And then they spring up and they're so beautiful. This is the place that we have here in Spokane, full of trees, the Arboretum, Finch Arboretum. We love to go there. Just a few minutes and it just sparkles up your whole life. If you feel a little bit sad, just go there. Even 30 minutes will do a great job. The flowers, the butterflies, focus on the blessings you have and write them down. Hitherto hath the Lord helped us, and he will help us to the end. 1 Samuel 7:12. Let's look to the monumental pillars, reminders of what the Lord has done to comfort us and to save us from the hand of the destroyer. I have something that you might try for your family members if they're sad. And for me, whenever I get sad, you squirt a little perfume on your pillow and you think about heaven. When I sent Jenny away to school, I said, you will get homesick. Here's a bottle of perfume. You squirt it on your pillow and remember, Jesus is coming soon. And you will have smells better than this one. What a great day that will be. Well, when I headed to South Sudan last year, she handed me a bottle of perfume. She said, when you get to South Sudan, you're going to cry. Because I've been on the internet looking. They've had bombs blow up things, the roads have big holes in them. People are starving. They're ragged. Their homes are broken up by the bombs. Half of them are gone. And you're going to cry, Mama. When you get back in your bed, put this on your pillow and make it squirt it everywhere. And remember, you went there because you want to help them be in heaven too. I took that perfume, I squirted it every night because there were terrible things I was seeing. And then there was a young girl who told me her story. I gave the perfume to her and I told her, you take this home and you squirt this on your bed linens. She wasn't wealthy enough to have a pillow. And I said, you remember what I told you about heaven and keep getting ready. I'll meet you there. And she said, I like this perfume. Never had anything like it. I feel like a princess. Yeah, I said, that's what I hoped you would feel. You are valuable. Jesus came and he died for you. I love fragrance, don't you? The roses smell so wonderful. Well, there was a man, Samaritan, coming from Jericho. He was traveling with his business in mind, and he met a disaster. You know the story well. A man had beaten this poor man up and left him for dead alongside the road. The Good Samaritan didn't know, because he had been beaten so much, if he was a Jew or a Samaritan. But that wasn't his purpose. He wanted to help. Other people had passed that were supposed to be Christians, loving, godly people. But they didn't care. Well, they looked, but they just remarked about how terrible was that, and they hurried on, hoping that they wouldn't get robbed as well. I'm sorry to say, sometimes I've done the same thing. Maybe I'll get robbed as well. Maybe my children will be harmed. I better get going. Well, he took him, he cleaned him up. He tore up some of his own robes, made bandages, took care of this man, put things on his wounds, and put him on his donkey, and he went to an inn, and he paid the innkeeper after that first night for any expenses and requested that he take care of him. And he said, when I come back, I'll pay you for anything extra that you have spent beyond what I gave you. Jesus is that way for you. When you reach out to help somebody else, he will pay you back. Serious. I've seen him do it over and over. Pray for ways that you can reach out to help others find the truth. As we see the beautiful flowers around us, we know God loves us. This lady was pictured at 98, looking quite vibrant, don't you think? She was rescuing children and helping Jewish children, wasn't it, Jenny? And she had a great purpose in her life, and God just kept her going. Her immune system was increased because of all her reaching out to help someone else. My Aunt Elsie, the sister to my grandmother, she died around 101 years of age. And she was always busy helping people in prison. She was collecting Bibles. Her car parked at the church. Everyone would bring a Bible for her to send to the prisons. She would send letters of encouragement to follow Jesus. And she knitted hats for the homeless. She did pray as long as she was able to reach out and help someone, that God would keep her going. That's the way I want to be. As long as God can use me to help someone, I want vibrant health so that I'm not a burden. I just want to help other people. Singing increases your immune system. When you go practice in a choir, they tested the saliva in a California university. They were practicing for Christmas. And those who were the most into the song had the highest increase noted in their saliva. They were singing with great interest, and these were godly songs. They were Christmas songs about Jesus' birth, coming to give his life for us. And it was amazing. So singing will help you be stronger. And as the heart's gratitude is expressed in prayer and song, angels from heaven take up the strain. I would love to hear them sing. My grandma voice, it needs the covering up of the angels. Angels from heaven take up the strain and unite in praise and thanksgiving to God. Christ Triumphant, 244, by the hand of Ellen White. These exercises drive back the power of Satan They expel murmuring and complaints, and Satan loses ground. God teaches us that we should assemble in his house to cultivate attributes of perfect love. What's perfect love? Does anybody know what that looks like? As we get closer to the end, there's less and less of it around us. Only God can give that kind of love. In the beauty around us is painted a picture of how much he cares. In Hawaii, my husband was driving past this tree, and I said, "Oh, gotta stop the car. Look, on the ground, there are so many yellow blossoms. In the tree, the same amount. Generous. God is so generous. I gotta get down in that and smell it and feel it," I said. So he just pulled over to the side and let me do that. So beautiful. I felt like dancing for joy, so pretty. And the orchids were so abundant. The Spirit of the Lord is to rest upon you until you shall be like a fragrant flower from the garden of God. My Life Today, 196, paragraph 5. Oh, aren't they pretty? They had a big cascade of those inside the church. A merry heart, Proverbs 17:22, does good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. Samuel used to keep records of what the Lord had done for him. And they even made a pile of stones from the middle of the Jordan to show that God had gotten them through Jordan River into the promised land during flood stage. So you can plant flowers, you can sing, you can help others. As through Jesus we enter into rest, heaven begins here. I like that. He has filled the earth and air and sky with glimpses of beauty to tell you of his loving thought for you. Lift Him Up, 72, by Ellen White. I just put my head right in the orchids, and my husband took some pictures. I was very exhilarated in those flowers. I thought, this is heaven for me. I'm in heaven. I don't want to leave heaven now. And I saw these bottles of orchids. And I thought about how he puts our tears into a bottle. Psalm 56:8. He notices when we're sad and what we've been through. If he has lavished such infinite skill on the things of nature for your happiness and joy, can you doubt that he will give you every needed blessing? Isn't that great? If he's done all that, he will also do for you. I love these orchids. The beauty of all created things is but a gleam, just a little tiny thing from the shining of his glory. Lift Him Up, 72. If you look at these orchids, there's a bee face in the middle. I'll zoom in on that. You see the bee face? When I saw that, I squealed. I said, honey, come quick, get a picture of this up really close. He's got the big eyes and the smile and the legs. It's so cute. Religion tends to directly promote health, to lengthen life, and to our enjoyment of all its blessings. Councils on Education, 68. So I kept taking pictures of my different daffodils. When I'm afraid, I will put my trust in Him. Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain thee. That's Psalms 55:22 and 56:3. Again, saying, what time I'm afraid, I will trust in thee. I sang that a lot when I went into Russia. I was afraid. And my grandma had been praying that it would open up so that the message could go into Russia. In 1993, the curtain came down and we got in there. Vitamin A is a good way to resist infection. Eating vitamin A foods like squash, carrots, papaya, mango. You'll find some of that in the fruit pizza today. Not the squash, but it's good. There's squash, carrots, vitamin A, and a mango a day boosts the immune system. So when I'm in Philippines, I love those mangoes. I get more than a mango a day. We need to eat at least 5 servings of fruit and vegetables every day. So vitamin A is essential either directly or indirectly for the proper functioning of most organs of the body. Proof positive, page 34 by Nedley, Dr. Nedley. That is a papaya. Yum. I don't need to tell you that. You have one on your refrigerator, right? Papaya. Unlike vitamin A itself, beta carotene is virtually never toxic, regardless of the level of intake, even if it makes your skin yellow. But if you're taking pills, that's a different story. Get it directly from the fruit, and you'll never take too much. Proof positive, page 343 by Dr. Neil Nedley. So we had fun in our home making the children each make a volcano on top of rice. And the volcano, the lava, is that mango, papaya, and the bananas there. They had fun. They got a prize for making the best one. Yummy. Good vitamin A there. And then sunflower seeds are another good booster. So we've talked about vitamin A, and now vitamin E is found avocado and sunflower seeds. I have a sunflower that's 8 feet tall now. I hope it makes a big flower. Together with the mineral selenium, it functions with as an antioxidant with the vitamin E. We also have persimmons that have vitamin A, and yams. Carrot juice is a quick way to get it. I had a patient that had yellow hands because she drank so much carrot juice. I told her, don't worry, you can't overdose. 2 cups a day for 14 days can help with a lot of big problems. What's wrong with this kid? He's got these big white patches. And it's very common. They keep coming and asking me, and I ask, how many cups of tea are you drinking a day? Oh, from 7 to 17 of the green leaf tea. It's toxic. It's full of caffeine and tannins, other things, and their immune system is dropping. See their fingers? They're very troubled and embarrassed. Moving on to sleeping factors. There's an amazing fact about sleep. The best time to sleep is before midnight. The math is amazing. 1 equals 4. How does that work? Many of the body hormones are being made before midnight, while 1 is still sleeping. But you have to be sleeping. 1 hour before midnight is better than 4 hours after midnight when you're sleeping. So if you're a night owl, you just can't get to sleep. We had a topic on insomnia, and you'll need to review those notes because it's really good for you to get your sleep before midnight. If you can get at least to sleep by 9 o'clock or 9:30, you will be healthier. So if you get to sleep by 11 p.m., and you wake up at 1, then you've only got 2 hours of sleep. One of them was equal to 4 after midnight. When I found this out, I began changing my sleep habits so I could make it through medical school. And I would go to bed early and get up at 2 o'clock. And then I had gotten the most melatonin hormone I could for helping me remember my lesson. Really helped. It's a happy hormone. And it's made between 9 o'clock and 12 midnight. So if you're not getting sleep during that time, you're running low and feeling depressed. There's also 1 day in 7 that the body needs. 1 day breaks the stress cycle. There are studies that prove the production level increases if there is 1 day off. Give yourself 1 day completely free from school studies. They came to me and said, Dr. Rose, you're not going to make it through medical school if you go to church on the 7th day or on Sunday. You're just not. You have to study like the rest of us. I said, if I studied like the rest of you, my mind would snap, I'd break. I have to have 1 day in 7 rest. And they went away shaking their heads. A lot of them did not make it through school. Can you imagine borrowing every year and not reaching your goal? How would you ever pay it back? It took years to pay back our school loans. And if you didn't have any way to do that, that would be terrible. So, we learned avocado, vitamin E is important, sunflower seeds, and rest. A healthy breakfast is also important. Olive oil is good for you. Mung bean sprouts were often made for us in the Philippines. I really enjoyed that. I liked what they made. And I told you of the angel who came and told my hostess to fix eggplant in olive oil, and I would like it. When she was praying, what can I cook? She doesn't eat any meat. And an angel came and told her the eggplant. By the way, you get some eggplant today. There's eggplant that has been baked in the oven and decorated with some plant-based cheese and olives. You will like it. If you don't, sorry. We usually say all the more for the rest of us. Red rice, mung beans, eggplant. That's what they often will give me when I go into the Philippines. Yummy. And they give white corn and malunggay leaves. I really like that. It's good, isn't it, Jenny? That's what the leaves look like. Now, the bones are stimulated in making blood cells when they have the E and the A. The avocado will help because it has a lot of protein in E and many of the minerals needed by the bones for production. Lentils also help the bones to produce. Kidney beans, lima beans, navy beans, black, pinto soy, and lentils. We have quite a variety here in USA. They're rich in iron, and the bones need that to produce. Chia seed is a natural source of fat, and omega-3 is really good in helping your immune system. There's a good sampling of good food that we found in the country of Philippines. Another one from the Philippines. They toasted their tofu. Peanuts, you can find in other countries, they roast them. These are examples of having a good balance. We sleep best if the stomach is empty. Make sure 2 to 3 hours have gone by since you ate your last meal. Don't just eat and sleep. Do not drink milk or other juice just before going to bed if you want to avoid crazy dreams. The body needs to be on rest mode. Drinking plenty of water, 8 cups of water a day. Some need 10 cups of water a day. And I mentioned last time, avoid all spoiled foods. More die by eating decayed fruit and vegetables, which ferment in the stomach and result in blood poisoning, than we have any idea of. It's on counsels on diets and foods. It's so easy. You think, oh, that tomato, it's not gone too bad. And you chop off part and you think you're okay. But it does travel through all the cells in the vegetable or fruit. And a carrot, watch out. That's in Counsels on Diets and Foods 309, paragraph 6. So let the vegetables and fruit be cultivated, that the tables may be supplied with food which is fresh and free from decay. The culture of strawberries and other fresh fruits should be carried on. Make sure there's no sign of any spoiling of the fruit. Oh, it's sad when they go, just really sad to have to throw away something that was really good. But it will just torment your body and even cause death. There are so many ideas in the health. You go online and you look. There are so many terms that I've never seen coming out of the spirit of prophecy. And there's so many that go against what God has told us. And they give recipes that have things against what God has told us. The Bible speaks about, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Oh, but you say, they were a wonderful Christian. They would never say anything wrong. They wouldn't want to hurt me. But if the counsel is against what God has said, is it right? The truth is still there. Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly. And I would identify the ungodly as those going against the word of the Lord. And some do not know about the health message that was presented as written in Counsels on Diets and Foods, Healthful Living, Ministry of Healing, Selected Messages by the godly woman Ellen White. If they have it in their library, they are accountable for what is there. If they search for their truth on the internet, they must be careful. Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he doth meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so. They are like the chaff that the wind drives away. If you see the rings on the tree, you can tell if that tree was near water. Each dark line represents a summer where it gets hot and dry. We were camped by a stream. The stream keeps getting smaller and smaller every week. And soon there won't be anything there. Now it's extreme fire danger. And no fires can be made anymore. But the trees planted by the river still have some water. And they will have a wide space between the lines of each year that they're growing. A tree planted by the waters. These men are standing by an ancient tree. It shows in the picture an amazing, they made some lines on there. They said they thought it was started in 1909 AD. And in 1066, the Battle of Hastings was their first white mark that they made. Then they made another white mark, 1492, 12, 15, 1492, 1776, and then the tree was cut down in 1930. That is an old, old tree. And we can be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Like my auntie, who was planted by rivers of water, always seeking with the love of heaven to reach out to someone needing her help. That's what we should strive to do with our lives in our vibrant health that we want. You will be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. So, in summary, let's recap some of the major points. The merry heart is important. Keep record of your happy times. Make a book of them and tell the stories when the family gets together. Paint some rocks of the big things that happened in your life and how God got you through. Plant flowers and lawn. Shade trees about the home. Visit gardens. Take vitamin A foods. Make sure you get a healthy breakfast and get your rest started before midnight. Number 5, no food 2 hours before sleeping. Number 6, 8 cups at least, 8 cups of water daily. I'm working on this one. Sometimes when the camping happens, there's a low supply of water. Number 7, delete tea, or continue avoiding it if you've never had any, from your diet. No caffeine drinks, nor alcohol. And sing. Eat from the garden. Delete the milk, meat, and eggs as you understand how to prepare in a healthy manner. Trust in divine power to relieve your stress. Keep seventh day of rest. Sunshine and fresh air are important. And now here's another one I did not tell you, so it's not really recapping. When you go in the forest, you are breathing things you cannot see that are healing. And a scientist studied this in Japan in conjunction with another university in USA in California. They saw that if you're out 3 days in the forest and you're like camping, you're walking, you're breathing this, they can check your blood level before and at the end of that and find that it's very high in your white cell ability to fight infection. Then after 7 days, they can recheck you and see that it's still somewhat elevated. 7 days, isn't that great? So my camping trip had provided me with a big forest bath. And I want to go back for some more because I really, really enjoy breathing the forest air. It's very invigorating. So they have promoted that for use in helping people to resist COVID-19. That is the end of that recap. Let's see if we've got all here. I want to mention this page that I gave you on immune system vitamins and minerals. We had a lecture in medical school, and he brought up a topic that many people come and ask me after this lecture, can I just take vitamins and minerals? Why do I have to go find that food and eat it, you know? And he said that if you take the supplemental vitamins, you make the body work overtime, throwing away the excess, and there are toxic levels. However, in its natural state in the food, there's a system of absorbing what is needed, and it is much less likely that you will overdose. Another point, heavy metal in high amounts in your body can decrease your immune system. Recently in my study, I discovered high levels of tin can wipe out your immune system. And there are ways of getting those out. If you have that problem, you can come and discuss it. High levels of copper can increase the susceptibility to infection and parasites. Zinc in the diet can help reduce the copper. And figs are an amazing fruit with high levels of natural sugars, minerals, vitamin A and K. And they're great in the whole mechanism that the body has for keeping a balance in the clotting factors in your blood. If you cut yourself, you don't want to keep bleeding. And you don't want the opposite problem of too much clotting. So figs are a good thing to have in your diet. Zinc plays a crucial role in the immune system function, helps the body heal by fighting off bacteria and virus. It is required for growth, reproductive functions, metabolism, blood clotting. It's found in all of the body tissues. We need this mineral to help produce certain proteins and DNA. So it is essential to get enough each day to stay healthy and maintain a robust immune system. The body doesn't store zinc. It also, if you like to grow hair, it's good in helping the hair grow. Okay, so the things that have zinc: chickpeas, lentils, almonds, sunflower seeds, oatmeal, pumpkin seeds, kidney beans, chia seeds, and you can look up online and get even a longer list if you want. If you're worried about the coronavirus, the Lord can assist you in your immune system and help you in, like, using your mask and social distancing and keeping away from those who are sick with it. If you're working as a health caregiver to someone who has, just be really cautious. I was scared when my son told me he had a high fever, and I said, I'm praying, get ready, because he had just been a nurse to those coming in with COVID-19, and I didn't want to lose my son. I was thankful that so far, so good. Everything's all right. So you watch for signs of fever and coughing, shortness of breath, and breathing difficulties. And always wash your hands, avoid the touching of the face. It's hard to do when the mask is slipping. It's really hard, and it's a big challenge to Jenny with the little boy and not touching this or that in the restrooms. Vitamin A is so important in vitamin C, and that summarizes, I think we've covered. Daily bathing can remove what the body has sent out through the pores, and washing the clothes frequently, like even daily, helps with resisting infection. And during winter, we need to add humidity in the room to help. So that completes my lesson on boosting the immune system. Did I answer any questions you might have on it? Did you think of something to ask? We're going to draw something if you don't have a question.
Okay, on the first page, you did talk about the tin can. So does that mean eating out of a tin can? The third paragraph?
Okay, let me go back here. Heavy metal with tin can wipe out your immune system.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're eating a lot from a tin can, tin is not the best. Glass is better if you're preserving things. If your funds are low and you are having to get your food that is in a can, I'm not saying that it will wipe you out, but there are some coatings that they're putting in there that are safer than has been in the past. Sometimes in the environment around us, there is tin. And when a hair sample is done, a person can find out if their tin level is high. Doctors' data is one online source for sending hair to know what is the environmental impact. And they can tell the toxins that are in your hair. It's excreted through the hair over time, and there are certain things a person can take, like grape juice. Is it running out of space?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Those are good questions.
I'm gonna go over by the microphone to pray. I don't know if this one I'll go there.
Dear Father, we thank you that you have been with us in the study on health, and we want to follow your health principles. We want to walk in your counsels, not the counsel of ungodly. Help us, Lord, to carefully follow the instructions that you have given us in the Bible and in the spirit of prophecy. Now please bless each one who came, that we will all have more vibrant health. In the precious name of Jesus, amen.